everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a really simple, very beginner friendly necklace today to go with the really simple, very beginner friendly bracelet and earrings I made the other day. I'm using some of the contents of the latest Bargain Bead box, the Art Deco Luxe collection. In case you're not familiar, Bargain Bead box is a monthly subscription of beads and findings. It's $19.49 a month, and that includes shipping in the United States. They have beautiful beads and findings. It's always curated around a different theme each month. And if you're a subscriber to the Bargain Bead box, you get a 30% off coupon to use in their sister store, Bead Box Bargains. And you can use it as many times as you want to during the month, and they already have great prices. I have a coupon code. It's Teresa2, and I'll put it on the screen here and then in the description box below, along with a link to the page to sign up for the subscription if you're interested. The coupon code will save you $2 off your first box if you sign up. I've been buying beads and findings for many years now, and I do believe that this is a really good value. And they always include findings too, so you can pretty much make a piece of jewelry straight out of the box. Mostly all you need is your stringing material and like your bead stringing wire and your tools, of course. They have in the past even included some tiger tail in there, but they don't often do that. But of course there's always chain, almost always chain. So I believe it's a really good value. I have the 8mm white shell pearl man-made round beads, and these are all of those I have left. And in here I have the 10mm black and white agate dyed and heated faceted rounds, and that's all of those I have left. And I have two different kinds of bead caps here from my stash, and I have some findings here from my stash. I have a couple of pieces of chain that I got from Bead Box Bargains. I've got a toggle clasp in here, the same kind I used in the bracelet, and I got these from Bead Box Bargains too. These were in the, I believe they were in the Farmhouse Fresh collection we got. I don't know if it's August or October, but I liked them. I really liked them, so I got some extras when they put them out. I have some 4mm jump rings in here, 2 wire guardians and 2 2x2 crimp tubes, and I'm mixing gunmetal and antique silver findings. The bead crimp beads I use are Beadalon. I'm using my Soft Flex bead stringing wire in fine. It's 21 strand. I've got my chain nose pliers, my crimping pliers. The crimping pliers are Beadalon. I've got my bent chain nose pliers that I got from BB Craft many years ago, and my cutters, those are Xuron. And I just always have my tweezer pliers. These are from Xuron. I just always have them out in case I need them there. Sometimes I need them to get in little places to pull the wire through when I get ready to pull it through my crimp tube. I don't always have to have them, but sometimes I do. Have my bead stoppers. I think that's everything. Let me get some of this out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my beads poured out here, and this is just a really simple stringing. It may not be real interesting to some of you all, but like I said in that other video, I have people comment sometimes on my videos that are brand new to beading, and I like to do a little project every now and then, just doing something simple and going over the basics, because I don't want to forget about them, because you know, they are probably not familiar with all the terms that some of us that have been beading for many years are. And I know when I first started beading and I heard the word findings, I had no idea what they were talking about. I never heard that word before. And then I figured out it just means all little spacers and bead caps and the hardware that goes into a piece. But I like to remember the people that are brand new to beading. I'm going to put on one of my white pearl beads, and then I'm going to do a bead cap facing the bead, and then I'm going to do a bead cap facing away from the bead. I just like to do that. Sometimes I like the way they look together like that. Now I'm going to do 2 of my little pearl beads. And a bead cap facing the bead, and a bead cap facing away from the bead, and 2 of my pearl beads, and a bead cap facing the bead, and a bead cap facing away from the bead, and 2 of my pearl beads, and a bead cap facing the bead. Now I'm going to do a big 10mm bead, and I'm going to use these other kind of bead caps I have, and I'm going to do a bead cap facing the bead, and a bead cap facing away from the bead. I mean facing the bead. Just, you know, cupping the bead like that. Now I'm going to do a bead without bead caps. I'm going to do a bead with bead caps. I'm going to do a bead without bead caps. I'm going to do a bead with bead caps. And I'm going to do a bead without bead caps. And I'm going to do a bead with bead caps. And now I'm just going to do the same exact thing on the other side with my little white pearl beads. I'm going to do a bead cap facing the bead. 2 of my, I left out one of my big beads. I'm going to put my last big bead on here. Now I'm going to do a bead cap facing my little white pearl bead. I'm going to do 2 of these. Then a bead cap facing the bead. A bead cap facing away from the bead. I'm going to do 2 more of my little white pearls. And a bead cap facing the bead. Bead cap facing away from the bead. 2 more of my little white pearls. Bead cap facing the bead. Bead cap facing away from the bead. And my last little white pearl here. So that's what I got. And now I'm going to get ready to crimp. Okay, now I'm going to crimp. Take my crimp tube, put it on my wire here. And take my wire guardian. Put in one channel of my wire guardian. Now I'm going to come back down through the other channel of my wire guardian. Go back through my crimp tube. Make sure to hold my beading wire apart and not get the wires crossed. Because if you get your wires crossed, your crimp is more likely to fail. I'm going to go into the second part of my crimpers there, the part that has the little circle on one side and the little notch on the other side. And I'm going to lay my crimp in there. I'll pull it up here and make sure there's no wire coming out the top of my little wire guardian here. I'm going to squeeze. And then I'm going to turn it. And that puts each little piece of wire in its own little channel of the crimp tube there. Now I'm going to go into the top part. And I know my hands look awful, but that's where I've been bead weaving and fooling with that fire line. In the top part there that has just this little circular part on each side. And I'm going to lay my crimp in there and squeeze and fold my crimp. And now I'm going to tug and make sure it's going to hold, and it is. Now I'm going to cut off the extra wire. Now I'm going to go down here to the other end. And I'm going to cut my wire off my spool. I usually just leave it on the spool. If I know what my design is going to be, it just seems like I don't waste hardly as much that way. And I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to put my crimp tube on, put my other wire guardian on, go back down the other channel of the wire guardian, go back through my crimp tube, pull my wire through, hold my wire, make sure it doesn't get crossed. It's harder to crimp on this side because the beads are in the way and your hands are in the way. So I try to go down another bead on this side, and I think this is going to be challenging because these little white pearls have very small holes, but now there it goes. Okay, now I'm going to try to keep my wires from getting crossed. Hold on to my wire guardian and pull on my wire. And I want my piece not to have any slack in it, but I don't want it to be real tight either, because if it's real tight, it won't drape well, and then it puts a lot of tension on the wire, and the wire's more likely to break. But I don't want, like for instance, my little bead caps to not be around my beads, so you just kind of have to find that sort of perfect spot there. I'm going to tuck this little wire guardian in. The other one was kind of tucked in. I must have tried to use it in a project already and tucked it in already. So now I'm going to just do like I did before. Take my crimping pliers and go to the second part. Lay my crimp in there. Straighten him up. Lay my crimp in there. Squeeze. I'm going to turn it. Then go into the top part of my crimping pliers. And lay my crimp in there. Squeeze and fold the crimp. I'm going to tug. That's good. So now I'm going to cut off the extra wire. And that's what I've got so far. Now I'm going to get my stuff together and put some chain on it and the findings. Hold on. Okay, I've got my chain here. These are about 3.5-inch pieces of chain. I'm trying to make this not as incredibly long as I usually always end up making necklaces. So I'm just going to take my chain nose pliers and my bent chain nose pliers and one of my little tiny 4mm jump rings. I open my jump ring, thread on one side of my necklace, thread on my chain, close my jump ring back. Make sure to close it back really well. And I always run my finger over it there to make sure it's closed up well and meeting like it's supposed to and everything. I'm just going to do the same thing on this other side. Just add my chain here. Okay, now I'm going to go up here to the other end of my chain and take my another 4mm jump ring. And attach one part of my toggle. Close it up. And then I'm going to take another little 4mm jump ring. Attach my toggle bar. I know I usually use lobster clasps when I make a necklace, and so I can put an extender chain on it, but I wanted to use the same toggle that is in the bracelet. I don't know, this little 4mm jump ring might not be big enough for this. It's kind of thick. Oh, there we go. Close my jump ring back. Sometimes you can hear it pop like that, and if you snap into place, so you know you got it good and closed. So there we go. A little necklace here. Now I'll get everything cleaned up here, and I'll try to get that bracelet and earrings back out so I can put them all together and you see them all together. Hold on. Okay, so there's the whole set. The necklace and bracelet and earrings. Of course, I know the necklace is symmetrical and the bracelet is asymmetrical, but y'all know me, I just get wild and crazy like that sometimes. Of course, you can make them both symmetrical, both asymmetrical, whatever you want to do. And then there's the little earrings. Like I said, I've been buying beads and findings for quite a while now, and I do believe that this is a really good value, the bargain bead box. And I really love shopping at Bead Box Bargains and using that 30% off discount code. If you're not subscribed and you decide you want to, that coupon code will save you $2 off your first box. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook and Instagram and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.